everybody. Tonight I want to talk real quick about a topic I call asset hopping. Okay? Asset hopping, for those that don't know what an asset is in trading, an asset would be options, crypto, forex, futures, stocks. Those are different assets you can trade, and those are different assets that people specifically trade depending on their style of trading, what they like to trade, account size, things like that. People always ask me, or a lot of times I get questions about forex and how did you learn so much about forex and what made you stick with it and why were you so persistent and what did you do to keep you on that track. And one of the things I tell people is I didn't do a lot of asset hopping. I didn't hop from forex to futures or from forex to options. A lot of times when people are trading and something may not be responding or acting the way they want it to act or giving them the money that they want right away, people tend to go trade something else or want to trade something else because somebody said, okay, I'm making money over here. Or somebody else says, oh, you should try this. Or somebody else says, this is doing it right now and this is what you should be doing. So you're distracted again by what somebody else says instead of staying true to yourself. My personal journey with trading, I got good with forex because I never traded anything else. I traded it and I stayed on forex until I mastered it. So it's like that old saying of a jack of all trades and a master of anything. If you're a jack of all trades, you may know how to do a lot of things or a few things, but what have you mastered that's going to free you? So a lot of times when we know how to do so much or we're talented at so many things and have so many gifts, we never focus on that one talent that can free us initially from bondage or from working or from having time or from doing what we want to do with our lives. We never work on that one thing or master that one thing that can truly free you or give you the finances to work on the other things that you want to do. So it's really important, I believe. I used to say you got to sit on the egg sometimes until it hatches. So to me, forex was that egg. And I just sat on forex until it hatched. Every day I didn't quit. The days where forex wasn't working, I didn't understand it. When I couldn't position size correctly because I didn't have the money, or when I couldn't trade oil or whatever it is I couldn't trade, I would always stick to forex until I mastered it. And then I sat on forex so long that it actually taught me how to trade other assets, because then I got into correlation. And when one thing is doing this in the market, something else is always doing that. So one thing is always doing this and something else is always doing that. Or there's something that's moving the same way as something else. So you can sit on something so long that you learn correlation, then it actually teaches you the other asset. So I actually learned how to trade futures and other assets by actually trading forex. Even when it comes to crypto, if I'm trading Bitcoin, I'm going to look and see how strong or weak the dollar is against it, which started from trading forex and looking at the dollar index. If I'm looking at the dollar index to trade forex, now that I trade futures, I can trade the dollar index itself in futures. Or if I'm trading a certain currency pair in forex, I can take the same trade in futures. Or if gold is acting this way, the Swiss franc is acting this way. So I learned how to trade other assets just by staying on one asset so long that I mastered it. And now I can look at it and trade other assets based on how this asset is acting. All right, so I just wanted to give a little gem real quick about just staying down. And it's not just about trading, but just staying down in whatever you're doing until it hatches, until it works for you. You don't want to quit what you're doing, because the day you quit what you're doing is the day you can become successful. To me, it's just like a marriage. If your marriage or your relationship is not working exactly the way you want it at the moment, doesn't mean you go and find another relationship. Sometimes you got to stay down to see the full fruit in whatever you're doing. You got to really plant and nurture it and water it. And when nothing's growing and when nothing's bringing you anything and there's a drought, you still got to love and be passionate about what you do.